Hello everyone, Bernina Jeff here, and we were making some curtains this morning, my wife and I, and we have a vintage 830 Bernina here at home, and this is the vintage style walking foot. When we were using it, it sounded like a little mouse. It was squeaking. So inside here needs to be maintained. I've made a video on more of a modern version of this walking foot, but for those classic owners, we are going to do another video on how to maintain a walking foot. So if it starts squeaking, if it starts acting funny, don't use it. It will, something will freeze up this arm. It's been known to break off inside here. Sometimes these roller bearings, these little rollers, will need to be a little bit oiled. So I've got all the tools I need, a screwdriver. So I'm going to take this screw out of the housing, the cover I call it, and slide the cover off. Now there are metal parts, and let me grab a tissue here. We're going to wipe off the excess oil. So it has been, I have maintained this at one time, but it's been a couple years since I used it. So there's these older style, there's a screw on this side, and it's black, so you may not be able to see it, but I'm going to remove that screw. The small little screwdriver that comes with your sewing machine will work fine for maintaining this. I have a little trough here. I can put my screws and stuff down there and they won't go anywhere. This is actually one of my little inventions. I have a video on how to make that out of a downspout that you can get at True Value. I trim it to size and then screw it on. So we used to have screws and tools roll off all the time. Now they roll into the trough. I don't have to bend over. Try to find it on the carpeting. Now I have had people call me or email me saying, I lost this screw, I lost this part. So make sure that they don't fall into your carpeting or into places that you can't find. And you want to do this when you have time to complete the whole job. If you do not have time to complete the whole job, things will tend to get lost. So this fork, wiggle, and it'll pull out. This post right here is what breaks off inside. If it breaks off inside there, you're going to want to tap it out from the opposite side. You slide this articulating unit, slide and tap it out the same direction it goes in. And these older style have these rollers that come off. The new style, the rollers are attached. So there's a long roller and a short roller. And the long roller has a thin side. The thin side goes in, the wide side rolls across the feet area there. So this looks pretty good. I don't know why it's squeaking. So to be thorough, you're going to want to take this C-clip off. And there's a washer on there. And then this little unit slides out. And this is probably where the culprit is. Whenever I do a full service, I take this out. Grab that washer because I'm going to put that on last. Now you can oil. I'm just going to go ahead and use oil. Now if the shafts show any buildup of debris, or if it's kind of got some brownish tint to it, you can use like a 600 grit wet or dry sandpaper, the gray stuff, to sand that clean again. So you're going to want to put that back on the same way it came off. If it looks funny, it doesn't fit, don't do it. All right. That's moving up and down just fine. Put the washer on. It's black on black, so the camera may not be picking all of this up. Now you want to make sure that washer is down below the slot where this clip goes on. Otherwise the clip won't want to go on easily. Now, this is the tough part. All right, I set that C-clip on there. Now I'm going to grab probably right in the way of you guys. I'm going to grab the needle nose. I'm going to needle nose that back right on there. Snapped on. As you can tell, I've done that a few times in my life. Now there's a little area there where that moves up and down. Back and forth actually. And there's one more spot that moves right there. These oilers are worth their weight. I call them my perfect tipped oilers. I've sold gallons and gallons and gallons of that oil. Yellow cap is for moving parts on metal on all brands of machines. A red cap is for the hook area of the black bobbin machines, like the 7 series, the 8 series, the 5, the 4 series, anything that has a big black bobbin. So what I'm doing is the little shaft, I'm putting a little oil on there first. I'm going to slide the rollers on there. Trust me, these will probably fall off 2 or 3 times before I get it all back together, but there we go. Now we're doing that. I'm going to give this shaft another little drip of oil, kind of holding everything together. That shaft goes into that hole, and then you rotate that arm down. Everything's always test to make sure it's kind of acting like it's going to work before I put it back together. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm holding everything together. Now, these have a left side and a right side. There's a little pin that pops out there. So that's going to be the other side there. Now this is the side that goes on. In these older style, you have to kind of put the sole on as you go. It doesn't have an area that pulls it apart to put the sole on. So I'm going to put this sole on as I go. Line up that pin. I'm going to put this other side on. All right, you kind of hear a little snap there. This other side needs to be snapped in. Now I'm looking through this hole right here. This long screw is lined up. If you can get that long screw in first, line most things up. I'm going to get that in, not knuckle tight, white knuckle tight, just in enough. Now everything's lining up. Got my small little screws again. I like to put them on a screwdriver that has a little bit of magnetism to it. If you don't have a magnetized screwdriver, you can use like your pin cushion, your magnetic pin cushion, and just drag it across the tip of the magnet there. You can kind of feel the magnet. And that's going to give it a slight little magnetism to hold on to that screw. And line it up, put it in there. My hands are working great today, and so are my eyes. I'm not usually this good at getting everything to line up and go in first try. Again, everything's better in the morning. Try not to stress yourself over something at night. Get that guy on there. And back in. Make sure it's working so you can see everything's kind of articulating there. And slide the cover back on. All right, there's that long screw that holds the cover on. Our walking foot is maintained. You may now have many years of happy service without squeaking and noise. So when this arm goes up, you want to see the foot go down, or the rubberized traction area. Now, all these parts are still available. Don't let a dealer tell you that you cannot service one of these. That arm is about $25. The other parts are varying, but they can be fixed good as new. Why throw something out? The new ones are almost $200 for a new walking foot. They make the new walking foot for the old style machines and the new style machines. So there you go. This is Bernina Jeff. Again, check out my Shopify account. That's bernina-jeff.myshopify.com, or you can email me at jpvlefty@aol.com. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.